The from what? How do I say that? Oh, Irritable Fowl Syndrome Theater once again presents more tales from the crypts and vaults of the Octapuss Macabre. The Octapuss Macabre had quite a strange problem with his new girlfriend, Ellery Frosterlane. It seems that Ellery was allergic to zippers and buttons and most foods, which was quite a coincidence of aerodynamic concern, seeing that his last girlfriend was allergic to every form of food except coconuts. Even the smell of one grain of rice would hypnotize her into thinking she was Maria Callas, whose biggest hit, she believed, was My Way. I can't be in the same room with a man who has a single zipper. I have to turn the page. Okay. Who has a single zipper anywhere on his person, or a button. One night, Ellery's friends invited her and the Octapuss Macabre to a bluegrass festival. Ellery was absolutely terrified of going anywhere where even the fish in a fish tank were wearing zippers. When Nicholas Macrabe, the cab-driving crab, told Sherman Tank Prostate that Ellery's father had once, while looking through a telescope at the stars-filled sky, and he noticed, quite curiously, a big zipper of clustered stars defined and set in motion Ellery's fear of zippers. The original inventor of the zipper was, by curious coincidence, the Siamese twin brother of the man who invented buttons, Zachary Zulan Zesesruk, with the brother who invented the modern zipper, whereas his Siamese twin brother invented the button. His name was Sutton Saxfield, and his middle finger was connected to the cavity in Zachary's ear, almost all the way to the eardrum. Now this is going to take me a minute. I have to find it. Alright, there's another page. What am I? Right, this says page 3. Just hold on a minute. We have 2 page 5s. Alright, this is 3 and 4. Okay, care of says the homophobic Hartford, Connecticut hog farming harpsichordist had just 2 months earlier moved from New Jersey because Lord, his second cousin on his mother's side, had told him that his childhood best friend, Masagami Deuteronomy, was living now a mere and mighty stone's throw from Lord and Lady. Now, any and everyday reader of these luxurious anthropomorphic notes might say, at some point, how all these characters populating the story came to know each other. Well, the truth of the matter is that a very strange but friendsome upperclassman, page 4, from Harvard University, who would go on to graduate without distinction, advised them that they should open up a cat museum somewhere. Eventually, they all graduated from Harvard without a distinction, and the Octapuss Macabre, a quite punctual, prudent, and aftershave permeating man of diligence and debonair leaning, came, as was earlier arranged, to visit Lord and Lady in order that they might hammer out the details of the catnip museum they were in the process of postulating. That's page 5. Those store-bought roses. What's that? Is it over there? See, yeah, it's 2 page 5. Lord, answering the first door of their castle-like homestead, saw immediately that the Octapuss Macabre was wearing Vespelia Vermontino's Eskimo bean jacket, He was holding a bouquet of thornless roses in his hand as a gift for Lady. The octopus Macrabe, who had discontinued his self-employed job as a door-to-door sitz-bath salesman in Castle Rock, Maine, decided to up and move to the town where all his Harvard University fellow students were living the life of Riley. Really? Yes, really. The octopus Macrabe, swooping quite nimbly into Lord and Lady's quite ornamented castle, handed so royally Lady a fresh bouquet of store-bought roses. We have a new arrival just came into town with his newlywed wife. You remember the Big Zipper? Of course I remember him. He stole all the golf clubs and baseball gloves from Normal Norman's treasure chest. Well, it just so happens that last month he married a starry-eyed dressmaker from Montreal named the Big Dipper, and the two of them are very interested in giving financial support to our Cat Museum enterprise. Does he have the cash flow? Someone asked. Definitely, he's the highest paid gynecologist in town. What's his wife like? Asked Lady. I have to look for page 6. Let's see. It's page 7. Page 6 is page 7. That's page 7 too. Let's see. There's a 2, 7. I thought I had a 7 over there. Here's another 7. All right, so, well, this must be this first number 7. All right, she's allergic to zippers and buttons. So the Big Zipper took her to the nutcake neuropsychiatrist named Sutton. Sutton, the only gynecologist in town who doesn't make usage of zippers or buttons. He uses reinforced Scotch tape instead to hold his clothes together. Now the Big Zipper had a weakness for women who were swineherders, and 1/3 German, 1/3 Irish, and 1/3 Bostonian. The Big Dipper was all of these and much, much more. Not only that, she was born with lobster claws for hands. And her in-laws, the Big Zipper's parents, who studied law in Japan, Australia, and Ontario. I seem to be missing... I'm missing a little bit of it, or it's just out of order, but here we go. The Big Zipper and his wife, the Big Dipper, making a purchase of camels and kangaroos for the purpose of breeding clammers and putting them to pasture on the clammer farm. The kangaroo, as the local etymologist named Phyllis Prudence Wildhorn had recently advised the Big Zipper that the kangaroo and the praying mantis, he found out, were actually distant relatives. Sometimes events don't unfold. Sometimes they turn the other cheek to ones that put their lives to an old ruination. Sometimes they're cyclic, and sometimes they transmorph into human form and physically resemble vacuum cleaner door-to-door salesmen who converse with roosters and hens about Zen Buddhism and all religions of the earth, actually. I hope this has been an enjoyment received by you, and that I hope everybody does well, and we all need the refreshment of comedy sometimes. And I know I lost some of it I can't find, but I'll be back. If you wish, just let me know somewhere, and I'll be back with more tales from the Octapuss. God bless everyone, and good night.